All right, check it out. We're back with part 3 of our ongoing series, going through the collection of the man known as Vandy C that I acquired. More treats, some things you might know, some things you might not know. A little bit of everything. We got a stack here, a nice stack of some goodies I went through this week and then converting to MP3 and all that good stuff. This is one. Once again, I love hip hop. I love records. I'm an 80s hip hop dude, 90s hip hop dude. But I don't really get into like worth. I don't know what records are worth. They're worth something different to me than the average person. I don't think about the monetary value of records really ever. So, or the rarity of them. I like them or I don't, or I enjoy them or I don't. But Master DC, a guy out of Brooklyn you should know about. He's one of the early guys that was pushing it as an MC, DJ, and producer. I'm not sure how, I guess it's one of his more unpopular records because I seen an interview online with him where he's talking to someone and they're like, yeah, but no one ever asked him about my record, my first records. If you ever want to battle, you don't really want to battle. And so that was in the collection. And I had heard it before, but never had it. It's nice to have that. Here's one that I'd never heard of that I can recall. Duquan Love, Dear Abby. I thought it was gonna be like a weird love song or a weird like play on the Dear Abby newspaper column, like some weird concept record. But actually it's a diss record. Like he's like dissing like LL and Run DMC and just kind of getting rambunctious. It's got some names on those. Mixed by DJ Red Alert. It says engineered by Craig Beason. I'm gonna assume that's Craig Beason, who did a lot of records back in the 80s and also mastered by Herb Powers, of course, did a lot of stuff. So Daquan Love on Smash Records has some people on his team. MCGQ, the long-awaited hype debut. I know people were waiting for a long time for MCGQ, right? I never heard of him, but that doesn't mean it's not good. A strong rhyme to step to, the Queen's national anthem, they claim. Making some bold claims on this record. It's a pretty good record though. King of Earth Recordings. King Comac on the beats, DJ Terry T on the scratches, the dope scratches, and live lyrics by MCGQ. Yeah, some MCGQ right there. Here's a guy kind of got famous later on for his production, did stuff with like 9 and people like that. Was on a major. Boy White, of course, they were really trying to push the idea that he was a white guy that could rap. That was like phenomenal to corporations back then, I suppose. And this is produced by the Aleems, or so it says. And they were some like guys who did like a lot of like hip hop / like dance kind of electro stuff. But the beats on this are really, really good. I'm assuming that maybe Boy White was actually the producer or involved in the production, as he went on to do a lot of production. And on the album cover to this album, where the single came from, it has him there, like in a home studio, live instruments and so forth. But this right here is like a love song, but the beat is pretty ridiculous. Leslie, and the B-side, Uh-Oh, Here We Go. Also a pretty good beat. Nice little Apache drums in there. Boy White, RCA Records, major label stuff. We got the AQ Rangers Trooper. Of course, the word Trooper was catching on big, mid, late 80s, 87 style. Yeah, these are a lot of these records, man. Mid 86, 87 records have a good vibe to them, good feel. Early tampering with sampling, getting the things mastered. MC New York and the Smoking Commission on Smoking Records, division of Tough City, are involved in Tough City as a distributor. A song called I Am New York, making claims about the city known as New York. Here's one I think is people rave about online a lot. Snoopy by the group Taking Your Business, an interesting name. We got double copies in here. B-side, The New Thing, which is the one I prefer right there. The New Thing's pretty hot joint. Good record involving Tony D that was down with the Bad Boys. This one was like one of those fun stories I was talking about that happened in the trip. Going to Vandy C's house first and getting these records, and then the next couple days later interviewing one of the artists who I found there. And this is a guy, Mr. Spice, who put out a few records on his own label, Sharp Records, Sharp with 2 P's. And they were super limited. Like, you know, when you look around, he pressed like 50 of one of them, 100 of another, but super limited recordings. And Vandy C had all of them, multiple copies of all of them actually. You got the Terminator, Mr. Spice, really raw, stripped down, raw Bronx hip hop. Mr. Spice also, his real name is Shandu Lawrence. Does a lot of photography now. Does a lot of, like, you know, photography for like the old school artists and hip hop scene, capturing those people. And we're going to post up that interview real soon with these guys, including Mr. Spice. The Torture Beat, Learn to Be an MC, Mr. Spice. Street Talk and 14 Karat Gold. Yeah, some good stuff. Double copies, triple copies. You know, some of these records have really only got, you know, I asked Mr. Spice, like, really only pressed like 50 copies or 100 copies? Like, yeah, early on I didn't really have the money, but I wanted to do it myself. So, you know, it's kind of cool to have, you know, 2 or 3 of, you know, what might only be a couple of hundred of these records. One of the records he put out, mostly put out his own records, but also Mr. Spice put out the royalty ladies. And all his records are produced by himself. This one here is produced and engineered by Jazzy J, and also engineered by Jazzy J and Skeff Anselm. And I see one of the ladies in the royalty ladies is Cyrese Lawrence, who I'm assuming must be like his sister or related some kind of way. So he put his family on. And this is actually a pretty good record. Royalty Ladies, It's Our Turn. It's got some raw beats. You know, Jazzy J was great with those raw beats and scratches, and yeah, it's a good record. Excellent mid-80s hip hop, female MCs, all that.
The best, like a subconscious adventure with Johnny Quest. So damn, man, why don't you get up the chance and buy your own record, take your own